Hi everyone, welcome back to the weekly RedFOX Labs AMA. Benny Fairbank, the co-founder and CEO, is here to give us the latest company updates. We're taking a look at how the KOGs third edition launch went and talking a bit about the play to earn space again. How's it going, Ben?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Thanks for having me back.
No problems. And how did the KOGs third edition launch go? And the rumor out there, is it true that you and Fads bought all the packs yourself?
No, it went very well, and I think that the market, obviously NFT markets had a bit of a downturn recently, so I think the sales were very, very strong, well over 700k across RFOX and VFOX. So full report to be is following any time now. It went very well, and I think the thing is a testament to Fads and the team. The quality of the actual artwork and the design and the KOGs is definitely a level up, and I think that that's really important leading into the game, because once we get bigger audiences come in, I think we're sort of producing a product that is 100% ready for mass market. So very proud of what the team's been able to do.
Yeah, definitely. Those designs looked awesome. I also saw the VFOX and RFOX token designs up on YouTube. That looked awesome too. Where are we going to see those designs?
Yeah, that's a good question, and they are great as well. The thing with this edition is that as we have a venture model being a DBot, we've handed over to a team of very competent people, and even for me, I cracked a few packs on Sunday, and I hadn't seen most of the artwork. It was a surprise to me. I wanted to be a passenger and have the whole experience, and so a lot of those I hadn't actually seen. But the VFOX and RFOX, there's a couple of things coming when the metaverse goes live for tokens and also for NFTs and for tubes. So I'm going to let games spoil that for you rather than me doing that myself. But at this particular point in time, I'm a collector as well, trying to do the best I can to put those sets together.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm sure we'll see the RFOX and VFOX tokens up in various spaces within the ecosystem. So great. This was a big milestone for RedFOX Labs getting the third edition launch, because it's the first time that one of your ventures has launched a product that's standalone, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's probably, like, we've had some pretty significant events, but that would probably be the most significant based on the fact that it is the first fully fledged venture that has released its own product. And so that's, was a massive milestone for us. And then that's going to lead obviously into the game, which is in closed beta and just about to be flipped. So very, very exciting to see this all come together, and the hard work that those guys have put in over the last 5 or 6 months sort of come to fruition.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see more ventures launched in similar fashion. And last week we caught up with Leah Callan Butler, and one thing that surprised me about what she said, she mentioned that the demographics of blockchain games players is not just teenage boys. We're seeing grandparents playing, mums and young females increasingly playing. So when I saw the new mobile KOGs version, that kind of clicked for me that, you know, what Fads is doing, he's going down that right path in the new design. So what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I don't have a qualified opinion. So when I saw that we know that we needed to do a redesign. When that design came out, I reserved my opinion because I'm not an expert in that field. But those guys know what they're doing, and it looks great. It's come together really well. What we try and do here is have a bit of a philosophy of bakers in bakers rooms and mechanics in mechanics rooms, and not try and do too much crossover. So ultimately the DBot model means that once the product has a product market fit, we then find people that are much, much more experienced than us to take that over, and that's what we've done. So I think they've done a fantastic job, and the proof will be in the pudding when it comes out and we see those users come in. But to your earlier point about what Leah was saying, I think not only is it a different demographic, it's a different demographic to the standard gaming communities. The play to earn demographics and communities are completely different. There is a lot of crossover, but we're getting a whole new breed of people coming in. So we've got to move double time to make sure that it's easier to get in than it currently is, because it's too difficult. There's too many moving pieces, and what we've got to do is try and put that face on it. So as stated, people have talked about when's this coming out, when's that being released, but what we're trying to do is make sure that we've got it more simplified before we go to market with stuff, because ultimately there's no point just rushing to get something out and then have nobody be able to use it, or we've excluded the audience that we're focusing on for inclusion. So we can't make any apologies for that. We have to make sure that we get this one shot right and nail it.
Yeah, okay. And so looking at play to earn KOGs, when that does come out later this year, can you explain how sell pressure works? Because this question comes up quite a bit. One of the ambassadors asked, and I'm sure others have asked, PJ3, he said, people will potentially be able to earn about $200 worth of RFOX via the KOGs game. And is this going to be a lot of sell pressure on the RFOX token? And what incentive do people have to keep RFOX in the play to earn?
Yeah, sure. It's a great question. And I think that the reason that question's also asked is because if you look at what the other projects have done, they've produced unlimited supply tokens and then just started pushing that onto the audience. That's a great way to land grab. And it's what in the traditional space, people would actually just pay for those customers and not have any real way to be able to earn enough revenue to cover the costs of that. So it's about just building the audience and then you put a value on each user. So what we've done is taken a little bit of extra time to try and work out how to make sure that the incoming RFOX spending and usage is amounts to a greater amount than what we're actually paying out. So we do that in combination of RFOX. We've got NFTs. We've got a lot of cool stuff that we'll roll out to the community very shortly. But ultimately, that's a big consideration for us because ultimately, at the end of the day, this is a business. What we don't want to do is create a situation where RFOX is only going out and it's not coming in. It doesn't make any sense. It's not a good long-term plan, and we're much more about the end in mind and work our way back. So we're not going to be focused on just giving people RFOX for free.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, thanks for explaining that. So a community question from OJJ, he left this in last week's AMA in the comments. The question was, what was the thinking releasing VFOX months and months before the vault will be opened? What was the need to release every token almost immediately, given the damage that it does to dilution, especially seeing as there will be no rewards for likely almost a year? I think I know the answer to it, but I thought I'd let you address it anyway.
Yeah, a couple of things. Well, firstly, that's not true. There will be rewards shortly. The thing is that we've been over the VFOX side of things many times as to why tax implications. It's already in the paper and we've got it in FAQs and addressed that one a million times. But the actual talking about the getting it out quickly, the thing is, the reason you have to get it out quickly and get it into everybody's hands is because if it hasn't kept coming out, if it's still coming out as part of the farming and the staking, what we want to make sure is that when the rewards become due, so for example, there's a percentage of the land sale, which will be the first payout, what we need to do is we need to make sure that it is out in circulation, that it's in everybody's hands. If it's partially in, partially out, part of an investment that's not claimed, it causes all sorts of mechanics issues and payment issues. And we work very closely with our legal team and we're advised to make sure that it is completely distributed in people's hands and everybody has the ability to be able to claim when the payments are due. So that was a clear-cut decision that we had to make, and we had to think, well, how long can we take to make sure that that gets out, that it is ongoing for some period of time, and then make sure that it's out prior to the first payment being due to be made. So that was really, really important for us from the legal complexity, having tokens caught up in many different places and people having scratching their heads trying to work out what's going on. Because when you actually are going to claim your reward, there is a function or a claim that you have to do. So what we're making sure of is that everybody has the tokens in their possession and are able to make that claim. We're not denying anybody the chance to do that.
Okay. All right. So just before we finish then, the shop auction date that is being finalised this week, I hear. And that's good news. So what impact did the correction have on the auction?
I think, like I said, everything plays a factor, whether it's technical, whether it's new team members. We've got over 40 people now on our core team, and then plus all of the contractors. So we've got a new team coming in. We've got lots and lots of pieces that have to be clicked together, because don't forget, the metaverse is the platform that all of the ventures click into. And I think ultimately, like I'd stated some time ago, instead of it doing the rollouts in a linear fashion, one after another, we decided to build things simultaneously so we can click things in together. So ultimately, it was more a matter of how quickly can we get the surrounding ventures also finished, make sure that they click in and piece together, and also give a lot of these bigger marquee brands a chance to sort of get their head around things, understand how it works. And, you know, we know how this works in bigger organizations. People don't move at a very rapid rate. It's like, great, awesome, and then timelines are long. So we need to make sure that we've got our marketing gets ramped up and in full swing. Need to make sure that we've got a very clear path that we've got that rollout. We can show the progression as we go. And that's a whole, as you know, in crypto, everything happens much faster than the real space, than the legacy industries. So it's very much condensed. So we have to sort of get it all ready and get it ready in a very tight time frame because the attention spans are much shorter. So it's market is one impact for sure and certain, but ultimately it's a combination of tech, delivery, team, and all of the other pieces that are being put together at the same time. It's quite a mammoth effort, and hopefully with this increased transparency since the paper, and I'm going to give regular updates on the different ventures, people will get some sort of idea of how difficult it is to do what we're doing, and maybe get a little bit of a greater appreciation of what it is that we're actually doing.
Okay, great. And anything else you'd like to add about what's coming up this week just before we finish?
Yeah, I think what we're trying to do is get into the habit of showing you as it's ready and as it comes out, as opposed to just talking about it and then date's moved or something's changed. So we're trying to just make sure that we're just delivering it as we go. But ultimately, we're here every week, front and centre, fully accountable. Understand that delays are frustrating. Understand that people would have liked certain things to happen a certain way. But I think we've proven time and time again that if you have a bit of patience, that what we do is we choose the right way to go. We choose the longer term, more sustainable pathway. And I think that we're going to continue to do that. And I think, retrospectively looking back, you're going to see that we've made the right decision on all of these things.
Okay, thanks, Ben. Okay, guys, and if you're wanting to get more info about the RedFOX Labs ventures, there is a great paper. It's called Unlocking Value for RFOX Holders. It goes into a lot of detail about all of the ventures, the ecosystem, the opportunities, even providing some revenue projections. I highly recommend going to the redfoxlabs.io website and downloading that. Have a good read of it. So that's it for now, guys. Thanks very much. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you. See you next time.